Good morning, students of class 9. You're welcome back to the online portal now. Let's continue our lesson in history. We are doing socialism in Europe and Russian Revolution. This is the chapter, and this is the subtitle. This is the title of the chapter, and this is the subtitle. We have reached 2.3. Socialism in Russia. That is from page 32. Now let's go to the chapter. According to the chapter, one by one, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. Number 1, pay attention and listen carefully. All political parties were illegal in Russia before 1914 because during this period Tsar Nicholas II was ruling. It was the country was ruled by a king named Tsar Nicholas II, and all political parties were illegal, not allowed. The king did not allow any political parties. But still, the Russian Social Democratic Workers' Party was founded, established in 1898. Before this, you can see 1914, it was founded in 1898. But it was considered illegal by socialists. This Social Democratic Workers' Party was founded in 1898 by socialists who respected Marx's ideas, Karl Marx ideas, who respected, had to function, operate means function, as illegal organization. It has to operate underground because political parties were not allowed, they were considered illegal. That means this Social Democratic Workers' Party was illegal according to the Tsar Nicholas government. Number 2, this organization, the Social Democratic Workers' Party, this organization set up their own newspaper. They had their own newspaper, mobilized people or workers, factory workers, you can say that. They mobilized factory workers to go to villages and make people understand about their policy, about their plan, and organize strikes. They organize strikes in the factories. Right now we are talking about factory workers. They formed Social Democratic Workers' Party, but it was considered illegal. Number 3, some Russian socialists, now educated people, some Russian socialists felt that, what did they felt? You can see there, in Russia, the factories were not many, very few factories were there, and that too located in pockets. We have learned before in Moscow, St. Petersburg, they were located. And the Workers' Party or the factory workers were not many in number compared to the general peasants, masses. So that's why some Russian socialists felt that the Russian peasants, the common man peasants, their custom of dividing land, they have the custom of dividing land periodically, time to time they used to divide the land among themselves, made them natural socialists. These peasants are the natural socialists, not the workers. They have formed Social Democratic Workers' Party. They are actually not socialists. They are factory workers. But natural socialists are actually the peasants. So the peasants, they thought. Who thought? Some Russian socialists thought. So the peasants, not the workers. Actually, it is the peasants, not the workers, would be the main force of the revolution. And Russia became socialist more quickly than other countries. Actually, the peasants must be the revolutionary force. They are the socialists, natural socialists, not the workers. If we consider them like this way, then Russia will become socialist more quickly than the other countries. These some socialists in Russia thought. It is not the workers, it is the peasants who are the natural socialists. And if we consider all the peasants as socialist, then our country will become socialist faster than other countries. Number 5. They formed the Socialist Revolutionary Party in 1900. Still illegal, you can see that. So these peasants, these socialists, they formed the Socialist Revolutionary Party. Here it is Social Democratic Workers Party, a workers party. But here the peasants, they formed Socialist Revolutionary Party who will revolt against the monarchy or that is Tsar government. So they formed Socialist Revolutionary Party in 1900. It was still considered illegal by the Tsar government. They struggled, they revolted, protested, took out processions. They started the struggle for peasants' rights. They struggled for rights, peasants' rights. What rights? All the peasants must have the land, because many of the peasants, they were landless laborers, farm laborers without their own land. So they struggled for peasants' rights. They must be paid properly, or they must have a higher wages, peasants' rights, and demanded that, they demand what this Socialist Revolutionary Party, Peasants' Party, they demanded that land belonging to the nobles. The nobles, they had possessed huge plots of land. So they demanded that land belonging to the nobles be transferred to the peasants. Because these peasants, they do not have the land. They do not have the means to survive. So they must have the land, and the land must be given by the nobles. The land owned by the nobles must be transferred to the peasants. The Socialist Revolutionary Party struggled for that, for peasants' rights. So each and every one has the right for the means of living. So they must have the right to have or possess land as a means of living. So they struggled for this. So let's see in the next class whether they were successful in possessing land from the nobles, or getting back the lands from the nobles, or the nobles were ready to submit or provide land or give their land to the peasants. What happens? Let's see now in our next class. So that's all for today. You go through this properly and go to page 32 in your book. So we are doing 2.3. We have not finished yet. Some more are there. So this much for today. Thank you for watching so attentively and paying so much attention and being present in the class with me. So thank you very much. We'll meet in the next class and continue our lesson.